Hello. Welcome to Functional Fitness Friday. Today, we're gonna be doing a lot of single leg and balance slash stability movements, finishing off with some core work. So I'm gonna go ahead real quick with some demos. We'll get right into it. We're gonna do 3 rounds today. We're gonna do 50 seconds of work, 10 seconds of transition time here. You don't need any equipment, but if you want to use like dumbbells or weights or anything in any of these movements, feel free to grab that. I'm doing everything body weight because my legs are very sore today. So real quick for demos, what we're going to do, we're going to start off with a reverse lunge and also a single leg Romanian deadlift. So we're going to do all on one side, then all on the other side. Let me move my camera here real quick. So we're going to start off here. What we're going to do, we're stepping back into our reverse lunge, and then we're going to drive our knee up, and then we're going to do a single leg Romanian deadlift, and then coming back up. So we're going to alternate between the two. So a lunge and a deadlift. And that's going to help us again with balance. We want to really try and go straight into one into the other. So, like I said, we're going to do all of that on one side and then we'll move into the other side. So, if you want to have some weights or dumbbells, you can always hold them in each hand here. Or if it helps, you can always hold it on the opposite side and have one dumbbell to even out your sides there. So, that's the first two movements. And then we're going to do a lateral lunge with a pause and a knee drive here. So we're going to do all on one leg, then all on the other leg, just like the other two movements here. But we're going to step out to the side. And then as we push off, we're going to come up into this position. So it's kind of like if we were to hold a march or something like that here, and then we're going to go straight into the other one. So the goal is to have this leg not touch the ground at all. So we're here, floating up. So we're going to do all on one leg, and then all on the other leg. So again, on this side, same thing, driving up. So that one's meant to be a little bit more explosive, but again, if you want to hold weights, feel free. You can hold it in the opposite hand of the leg or on both ones, or you can hold it here, this goblet, whatever you want to do with the weights there. And then finally, we're going to go ahead and end with some dead bugs here. So on the ground, this one, again, if you like, you can feel free to add the core assist with dumbbells in your hands. If not, we're going nice and slow here. So we're going to extend out 1, 2, 3. We're going to hold here. Exhale, coming 1, 2, 3. So we're nice and slow with a little pause at the bottom, really working on engaging and using our core. So that's going to be our whole circuit today. And then we'll do some stretching and guided breathing at the end. We're going to go ahead and get started with a quick warm up here. And we're going to start off with, y'all guessed it, the world's greatest stretch, since we're going to be doing single leg things anyways. So let's go ahead, come to the top of our space. We're going to interlace our fingers, grab onto one of our knees, pull our knee towards our chest. Nice, big, deep belly breath. And we're going to exhale, step back, reverse lunge. Hands are going to come down on the inside of our front foot. Keeping our back leg nice and straight. We're going to hang out here for a second or two, really open up our hips, get everything ready for all those lunges and lunges and lunges. And we're going to go ahead, exhale, open up towards our front leg. Thumb is facing our spine. So we're looking at our palm here, looking at our hand as we gaze towards the ceiling, getting that good rotation in here. And we're going to go ahead, exhale, plant our hand outside of our front foot, bring our back foot a little bit closer and push ourselves up into our hamstring stretch. Stretching that out, getting ready for our single leg Romanian deadlifts. And we're going to go ahead and exhale, bring our feet together, push the ground away, and stand on up. All right, we're going to go ahead, do the same thing on the other side. We're going to interlace our fingers, grab onto our opposite knee, pulling our knee towards our chest. Nice, big, deep belly breath. And we're exhaling, stepping back, reverse lunge, hands coming down on the inside of our front foot. Back leg staying nice and straight here, really opening up our hips. Breathing into our tight areas here. And we're going to go ahead, exhale, opening up towards our front leg. Thumb facing our spine, so we're looking at our palm here. Nice, big deep breaths into the belly. And we're going to exhale, plant our hand outside of our front foot, Bring our back foot a little bit closer and push our hips up into our hamstring stretch. Really breathe into our tightness here. And we're going to go ahead and exhale. Bring our feet together, push the ground away, and stand on up. All right. Last part of our warm up here. We're going to do some quadruped rocks with our adductor stretch, opening up our hips again, just because we got a lot of lunges. So we're going to go ahead and make our way onto the ground on our hands and knees. And we're stick one foot out to the side like our kickstand, keeping our pinky toe on the ground. We're going to do 3 rocks on each side. We're going to inhale, rock back. Exhale, forward. Inhaling, rocking back. Exhaling, forward. And last one, rocking back. And exhaling, forward. And after that last one, we can go ahead and bring our knee back up underneath our shoulder. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So taking our opposite foot, sticking it out to the side, keeping our pinky toe on the ground. We're going to inhale, rock back. Exhale, forward. Inhale, rock back. Exhale, back forward. And last one, rocking back. And forward. And once we finish that last one, we can go ahead and bring our knee back up underneath our hip. And let's go ahead and make our way onto our feet. And we are ready to rock and roll. So, like I said, we're going to do 50 seconds of work, 10 seconds of transition time. I would say rest, but we're not really going to be resting for too long. But it'll give us time to transition for our next movement. And we're going to go ahead and get started here. 3, 2, 1, and go. So starting with whichever foot you would like. We're stepping back into our reverse lunge. So knee past our second toe, chest staying over the arch of our front foot. We're going to explode up, exhaling as we drive our knee up so we engage our core. And then we're sinking into our hip here, pushing our hips back, extending out as far as we can. Push the ground away, and again, being explosive. I almost just fell over. So if you have like a chair or something you can have near you for balance, feel free to grab that. If your balance is not really working out today, feel free to drop your toe onto the ground into a little more of a kickstand, and then right back into our reverse lunge. So if we need to take it slower, take a little bit slower. 3, 2, 1. I know it's really careful too. We got to be mindful of how far forward we're bringing our chest in that Romanian deadlift there. 3, 2, 1, other leg. So same thing here, being explosive. Again, using our core as we exhale to bring our knee up and then sinking into our hips. I always have to be careful here because I tend to go down too far and I start to feel it in my low back. That's me personally. So it's all about finding your Goldilocks version, whatever works and feels best for you. This is going to feel different for every one of us. Like I said, this one, like really all of today is a lot of explosiveness. But again, single leg, we're working on our balance, on our stability. I really encourage us to try and do a full single leg instead of that kickstand. Challenge ourselves today. 3, 2, 1. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to our lateral lunge with that knee drive. Pause. 3, 2, 1. So since we're doing all on one side, you can always scoot over to the other side to give yourself that room. But again, we're stepping out, knee over the second toe, hips back, knee forward, driving up. So this one's going to take a little bit more balance, especially if your legs are sore like mine are. Cue. Oh, my arms are the opposite way. You can always use your arms too as well to help you. So it's kind of like we're running, being explosive. We're pushing off our whole foot here. Feeling that. Again, the balance here in our knee drive is going to be coming from the core. So this is a great time to work on that core strength, but it's also going to really bring a lot of awareness if we don't have that strength. 3, 2, 1. All right. Getting ready for that again on the other leg. 3, 2, 1. So on the other side, but it's the same thing here. So stepping out. Gotta get my hands right. So if you're using your arms to help you, you'll want the opposite arm up when your knee is up. Exhaling, driving up again, lots of explosiveness here. We're getting a little stretch through the inner thigh there. I feel my very sore today, so this is a little tricky. If you want to challenge yourself a little extra, again, you can always grab some weights, but I find this one to be a little bit harder to use with the weights because we do need that explosiveness in the arm. The arm action is going to help us a lot with that. Whatever feels good for you. 3, 2, 1. All right, last movement here. We're on the ground for dead bugs here. 3, 2, 1. So knees above our hips, coming down. 1, 2, 3. Pause. 1, 2, 3. Back in. So going nice and slow is really going to force us to engage our core. We're also going to feel it in our core if we hold it for a little longer, because then we're really activating that core to hold our leg out. So as always, if you're starting to feel like your hips are kicking in or your low back is kicking in, stop a little sooner. You don't need to come all the way down. Go to that range of motion that feels good for you. Also being mindful, our knees are right above our hips. If they start to come in too far, it's going to take our abs out of it. 3, 2, 1. All right, great job. 1 round down, 2 to go. Getting ready. 3, 2, 1. We're back to our reverse lunge into our single leg Romanian deadlift. So we're coming back, driving up, pushing our hips back, push the ground away. So this one, we're really going to feel it in our leg as a whole. So we are going to feel a little bit in the quad. With the single leg Romanian deadlift, we really want to feel it in our glutes and in our hamstrings. So really important that we drive through our heel to activate our glutes here. So we're coming back, pushing our hips back, pushing on away. Again, being explosive, using our arms are helpful to help with balance here. Out. 3, 2, 1. This is also where you might notice that balance on one leg is a little easier than the other leg. 3, 2, 1. So hopefully these movements today really will help us decipher which side we might have some maybe more weakness on, a little bit of imbalances here. So it's great because it will bring light to those. So then that way we can work on strengthening each side separately. So that way we can really work on it. Because sometimes I find that one side tends to take over in a double leg movement. Like if we're doing a Romanian deadlift this way, maybe, like I know for me, my left side is a little bit stronger than my right side. So when I'm doing a single leg, it really forces me to fully focus on my right leg, work on my balance, work on in strength and engagement. 3, 2, 1, because each side of our body is not always going to be equal. All right, we got our lateral lunge with our knee drive here. 3, 2, 1. That 10 seconds really flies by, which is also why I call it transition time, not necessarily rest time. Going down, exploding up, down, and up. Trying to get the arm action correct. I don't know if I really have it down. I think this way is a little bit easier. So that way at the top, it's opposite arm and opposite leg. So when you step out, same arm, same leg, exploding up. All right, we're doing awesome. This is not hard at all. All right, focus, balance, strength, power. We got this. 3, 2, 1. All right, my legs are really dead. Okay. We're doing awesome. We're gonna do the same thing on the other leg. 3, 2, 1. So this time we're stepping out and back. I'm actually gonna go this way for a second. So just like with our lateral squats, any pushing movement of our lower body, we step out, knee forward, hips back, chest is over the arch here. We're being explosive, driving up. Same motion. And this again, noticing one side might be more balanced, a little stronger than the other. Great job. Keep pushing. 3, 2, 1. All right. Awesome job. We got dead bugs. Then we're gonna do that one more time through, and then we're gonna do quick bretzel cool down. 3, 2, 1. So we're extending our legs out. 1, 2, 3. And exhaling. 1, 2, 3. Really bringing our core together, zipping our core up. If you're struggling to engage your core after a certain point, shorten your range of motion. It's always a good thing to do until we build our strength in our core. This is a great way to strengthen and use our core too, so that way we can strengthen and also take a load off of our hip flexors. So a lot of time hip flexor pain comes from a weak core. 3, 2, 1. All right. Awesome job. Last round coming up. Reverse lunges. 3, 2, 1. So, but a lot of times what happens actually, I've noticed with a lot of hip flexor pain or tightness, one, sometimes we just need to strengthen them to help that pain go away. The other thing that sometimes will happen is when our core is not as strong, when we're doing a movement like this, like a knee drive, or we're running, or we're like so slowly stopping, all of that, our hip flexors tend to take over because our core is weak, and that can cause some pain and tension as well. So really important to work on our pillar strength, shoulders, hips, and torso, bringing it all together to help all of our other movements be a little bit easier. Inside and outside of the gym. 3, 2, 1. Done with that leg for that movement. We go to our other side, and then lunges and dead bugs. 3, 2, 1. So going to the other side. Scoot back, otherwise I'm gonna smack my head. Really driving through our heel, feeling, again, glute and hamstring focus during our Romania deadlift. Also really important, I haven't mentioned this in a while when we're doing the deadlifts, leave it to me to wait till round 3. We really wanna make sure our headlights on our hips are blinding the ground. When we start to open up our hips, so my hip is up, that takes really like everything out of the movement. You're gonna feel it more in your back. You're gonna get your core is gonna kind of get out, all of that. Want the headlights down. 3, 2, 1. That's gonna give us the most glute engagement, take that pressure off our back. All right, done with those. We got lateral lunges here. 3, 2, 1. So stepping out, exploding up, keeping our core. So if you imagine for the core, you can either do the belly button to the spine thing, not my favorite, but if you bring your belly button in and everything together, that coupled will definitely help. And also, again, focusing on exhaling as we drive up is not only going to help us with that driving explosive movement, but also engaging our core as we drive our knee up. Multi-purpose. Everything we do, if we haven't noticed, everything that I do for all these classes, my philosophy and my method is to get the most out of the least amount. So if we can get 3 things out of this, 3, 2, 1, the better, right? Versus just doing a movement where we're only working one muscle group. 3, 2, 1, other side. So for this one, right, we're getting our single leg strength. We're working on balance, stability, our core strength, and explosiveness. So we're working on a lot of things with our movements today. So if this is the only workout we were going to do today, which I know, or sorry, this week, which I know is not the case for us because y'all were here yesterday. But we'd still get really everything that we need to out of this workout, minus upper body. Did not include that today. So good thing we were all here yesterday. Great job. We're finishing strong. We have dead bugs after this. 3, 2, 1. All right. Done with those. We're in it on the ground for the rest of the class here. So getting on our backs for dead bugs. 3, 2, 1. So again, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. The other thing that will really help us activate our core too is if we're here, like right now, my low back is like not even on the ground. So we want to bring our butt to our belly button still. We don't need to have it fully pressed on the ground. If we act like we have a grape right here, don't crush the grape. We would need a little bit of that natural curve here. But if we also focus on not crushing the grape, we're going to get a lot of core engagement here. 3, 2, 1. And that is it for today's circuit. So go ahead, grab a sip of water if you need it. And then we're going to go ahead and do some pretzel. So starting with whichever side you like, we're going to make our way to the ground on our side. And our checklist, top leg is going to come up, over, and across our body. Knee and ankle on the ground. I don't know if anyone heard that, but yes, that was my back that cracked. Bottom hand on top of our knee. Top hand is going to grab onto our bottom for our ankle. We're going to inhale to prepare. And exhale, bring our top shoulder towards the ground. So we're going to do a few deep breaths here. Start to practice our breathing pattern, breathing in through our nose, into our belly. And then exhaling, letting our bodies relax. Fully exhale, make those exhales longer than our inhales. Calm our body down after that workout. And one more breath here. And as we finish that last exhale, gently release your bottom leg. And when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and flip over onto the other side. So we're going to do the same checklist here. Our top leg is going to come up, over, and across our body. Knee and ankle stay on the ground. Bottom hand on top of our knee. Top hand grabs onto our bottom foot or ankle. We're going to inhale to prepare. And we're going to exhale, bringing our top shoulder towards the ground. Again, a few deep breaths here, in through our nose, into our belly, and then really sigh away our tension. Release your muscles. Try not to tense up. Let our body sink further into the ground. And we're going to do one more breath here. And as we finish our exhale, we can gently release our bottom leg. And then we'll go ahead and make our way onto our back for our little bit of guided breathing here. We're going to do a few minutes of that. So As always, we're gonna place our right hand over our diaphragm, right in between the bottom of your ribs. That's where our right hand's gonna be. Our left hand is gonna be over our heart. We want our right hand to rise either before or more than our left hand. That means that we're breathing into the belly, and that's our proper breathing. We want to use our diaphragm. That's how we really fill our lungs up with the most amount of air. So that's our focus here. We're gonna do a little bit of some tempos here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna inhale for 4 seconds, we're gonna hold for 4 seconds, and we're gonna exhale for 6 seconds. So we just have a slightly longer exhale because I know it's been a little bit since we've done some long exhales here. So we're gonna do 4, 4, 6 here. So we're gonna go ahead, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna do one more guided one, and then I'll let y'all do that tempo on your own. So we're gonna inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're gonna go ahead and do that same tempo. Go ahead and do that on your own for a minute or two. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do that one more round of that breath or the tempo. And once we finished our last exhale, gently start to wake your body up. You can wiggle your fingers and toes, move your head side to side, and feel free to stay lying on the ground. Or you can return to a seated, kneeling, or standing position. But that's going to be all the time today for our Functional Fitness Friday and guided breathing. So thank you for joining me. Great job. And I hope y'all have a great weekend, and I'll see y'all next week.